Hello everybody, this is Monkey Rocket Ship 3003 back with more Let's Play Pokemon Sapphire. Alright, so first things first, I'm just going to get out of the way real quick, is that for those of you that may or may not have been following along with the comic on DeviantArt, there's the next episode out, so if you want to check that out then you can, but if you don't want to, or if you don't want to do the whole comic thing, that's fine too. Anyways, so, moving right along, we have something to talk about today that is not necessarily relevant to Pokemon per se, but it is, like, relevant because it's also Nintendo. It relates to something that's Nintendo. So, for those of you that watch Game Theories, Matt Pat had a video kind of a while back, called Why Mario is Mental. He tries to prove why Mario has antisocial personality disorder, and he does bring up some pretty good points, and if you weren't really, like, actively listening, like, if you weren't, like, trying to, like, think of, like, your own beliefs and try to, like, match it up with, like, what he's trying to say, then you'd probably be pretty easily convinced, because, you know, he does have, like, he has a way with words, I'll say that. And, you know, like, the whole video, like, the way he presents it, he brings up some pretty good points, and he makes it pretty convincing, I'd say, and I bet, like, if I wasn't, like, really, like, paying attention, if I was just kind of like, oh yeah, whatever, I'm just listening to a video, I probably would have believed him, but, since I'm the kind of person that doesn't really like just leaving a story all one-sided, I did want to put out some facts out there that Matt Pat did kind of, shall we say, skim over, that he kind of missed maybe, that, or maybe he thought was extraneous information that really didn't prove anything. So, since he forgot to provide counterexamples and say why they were wrong, I'm just going to put the counterexamples out there and say why they're right. But, you know, whatever. So anyways, I'll start with the easiest to explain. Well, for me, the easiest to explain. So, the whole deal with Luigi, getting a lot of, how do you say? Well, just that, like, Mario is, like, not a very good brother to Luigi sometimes, that, I would say that that's not really a good indicator, because, like, I only remember him, showing two examples. One was from Mario Power Tennis, and the other one was from what's the Paper Mario. I think it was the one on the N64. But anyways, starting off with the one on the N64 where Luigi is writing in his journal about how he really wishes that he could go on adventures with Mario. Well, he does go on adventures with Mario. Like, you know, how would you have two-player mode in the original Super Mario Bros? Like, what the heck? Like, I don't understand why Luigi's saying that he doesn't go on adventures with Mario, because he kinda does. But, like, if you guys are thinking, like, oh, well, he means, like, with Mario, where, like, it's in the style of, like, both of them are on the screen at the same time. Well, they do that now, so maybe Mario's trying to make up for it. I don't know. But anyways, so, the other thing that he points out is, in Mario Power Tennis, where, Mario, is, like, laughing and stamping Luigi's shoe as he's getting the gold trophy. Honestly, to me, that seems like one of those times where you were just trying to pull, like, just like a stupid joke, like with your brother or your sibling or just whatever, and you were just trying to, you know, you were just, like, trying to make, like, a joke, and you thought that it wouldn't, like, you thought it would just come off differently. I'm sure everyone's had one of those moments where, they thought, oh, this will be a great prank, or this will be a great joke to play on somebody, and then it ends up hurting them a lot more than you thought it would, and you're just like, oh, crap, that played out a lot differently in my mind than it actually did. And the issue isn't that they're easily hurt, it's just that, like, you executed it poorly, and that's probably just what Mario did it. He probably just had a moment of poor execution. Just a moment, the phone is ringing. Alright, so sorry about that. I had to answer the phone real quick. But anyways, so like I was saying, I'm sure everyone has had moments where they were gonna play a joke and it didn't come out quite as they had originally expected and ended up being kind of like a jerk move. But anyway, so like I was saying, that's probably just what happened to Mario. Does that make Mario a bad person overall? I don't think so, because I've had that happen to me plenty of times where I thought I was gonna play a good joke on my sister, and she ended up being like really hurt by it, and I was just like, oh crap, I'm sorry. So maybe like off screen or something, Mario ended up saying sorry to Luigi for that later, because, you know, it's just the right thing to do. Like, I know that when I was an idiot and I thought, oh, I'll just play a prank on my sister or whatever, and she got really hurt by it, then later, like, it would take me a while because, you know, I have to wait until she's, like, not freaking out about it, so that I could just be like, okay, I'm sorry, and then we'd get along, and, you know, we're good friends now. Like, apart from just being brother and sister, we're also very good friends, and, we get along very well, and I'm not, I don't know, it just seemed odd to me that, that he thought that that should be a very clear indicator that Mario is just a jerk to his brother. But, anywho, so, that being said, I don't think that Mario is just terrible to his brother. I think that he just made some mistakes, and he probably, you know, just kind of said sorry later, because counterexamples I can provide are like in Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. You don't have too many people, or well, maybe, okay, I'm not at all gonna say whether or not there was actually people that like didn't play it, but what I'm saying is, like, if for those of you that did play it, you'll know what I'm talking about when I say that there are plenty of times where Mario and Luigi get separated, and when they're reunited after a while, then it's a very emotional experience. Like, both of them run up to each other and hug. Like, it's not just Luigi runs up to Mario and hugs him, and Mario just kind of coolly walks over to him. No, Mario runs up to him too, and he seems very emotional about it. And so, it seems to me, anyways, that, like, probably he doesn't just kind of, like, think, whatever, it's just Luigi. No, like, I'm sure he cares very much about him. And then, on top of that, you have the example, thanks to Metallic Toad telling me the other day, or I should say reminding me, for those of you that have played Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, spoiler alert, at the very end when Luigi finally puts the Dark Moon back together and fixes everything, and Mario's there, Mario congratulates him. He says, "That's my bro." Like, you know, he's not just like, "Oh yeah, whatever, good job, Luigi," and just whatever. No, he says, like, "Man, you are my brother, and I'm proud of you." Like, it was a good moment that they had. Anyways, so those are the examples that I provide. Since MatPat put 2 out there, I'm gonna put 2 out there. Anywho, so, anyways, so the next thing that is relatively easy for me to disprove is the whole idea that Mario is just a cold-blooded killer. Like the whole thing where, like, he stomps like a bunch of Goombas or like destroys a bunch of Koopas with the star power, and he's like, and he's just like, woohoo! Like, he's just like happy. He seems very joyful the whole time about killing them. Whereas, like, any other sane person would have some sort of remorse for those he kills. I think it's not, like, this part isn't really Mario's fault, because we have to remember, in Super Mario 64, we see that there is a Lakitu with a camera, like, and we can see that Lakitu is filming all of his adventures, and just from that game, we know that the way that we see Mario going through his adventures is because Lakitu has his camera there. And I'd have to assume that they know it's a video game and that Mario, like, senses like the input of like the buttons and whatever, and so it does its actions accordingly. I don't know how that all works, but I'm not going to try to explain that. But basically, they know it's a video game. Like, they know it's a production. And if they know it's a production, then they're probably going to be able to tell, oh, hey, like, you know, there's an audience, and we know that audience is, or, well, they're aiming the audience towards children. But of course, definitely lots of adults play. But, like, the target audience is children. And so we have to remember, okay, we have to make it for the kids. Like, we have to say, they after like the first Super Mario Brothers, like where Mario didn't make any noise, or like he didn't like say anything, they probably went over to Mario and said, hey, we're making a kids game, could you, I don't know, liven it up a bit, could you look happy when you're stomping these things? And Mario's probably like, dude, that's jacked up, like, why would you do that? That's wrong. And they're like, sorry man, it's a kids game, you gotta do it. And that explains the whole deal why you get points for breaking bricks, or for like doing all this other stuff where like you're killing the innocent toads that got turned into bricks. So it explains it all, that like he's on camera, he has to put on that face, because if MatPat is gonna argue that Mario is just making the smile and pretending to be emotional, but he's really not, then why can't I argue that Mario is pretending to have no emotion, but or have no remorse, but he's actually very sorry for what he does? Because I don't know about you, but a cold-blooded killer probably wouldn't be able to make friends with the very type of people that he's trying to kill. Case in point, Thousand Year Door. He makes friends with Goombella. If he really was just a sick killer, he could have killed her right on the spot. He's like, oh hey, a Goomba, let me just stomp the crap out of her. Or a Koops, he would have been like, oh hey, let me just use this firepower and burn him to death. No, he actually made friends with them, and you know, like, he actually like had them on his team. So that's what I have to say about Mario being a cold-blooded killer. And then on the whole topic of, oh hey, do you not realize you're killing the people that you're trying to save by breaking the bricks in the original Super Mario Brothers? First of all, the kids probably didn't realize, oh well, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid and I played that game, I didn't realize that there was a backstory to it. Like, I didn't think, oh hey, let me just read this little wall of text here, because I wasn't super big on reading at the time, and you know, like, I didn't read the story, and so I'm sure lots of other kids didn't read the story, and so they probably didn't know. And on top of that, if Mario had we'll assume that Mario had just gotten there, like as far as like the adventure goes, then he probably didn't know that the toads were the bricks, so it probably wasn't his fault. He probably just said, oh hey, these bricks, I should probably get out of the way if I want to advance, and then later he realizes, oh crap, those were toads, sorry. So that's that. And then on top of all of that, you have to think, okay, well, if Peach has like, or I'm sorry, Princess Toadstool has the power to put all of the bricks and all of the stuff like back to the way it used to be, then like, if you're just gonna start involving magic, then like to say, oh, she puts things all back the way they used to be, then why doesn't that include putting the bricks back together and then bringing them back to life? Because like, if you're just gonna start saying, oh well, because magic, well then everything is because magic. So that's my argument. Yeah, unfortunately, I am going to have to make this into a two-part argument. The next part of the argument will be in the next episode. I'll try to come out with that as quickly as possible. And until then, thanks everybody for watching. Comment if you have anything to add, like if you did, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. See you guys next time. Take care, everyone.